Good morning. Welcome back. It is Monday, March 25th, 2024. It is 7:07 a.m. in my locale, and I have not been on for about a week and a half, maybe slightly longer. And the reason is that there hasn't been a whole lot going on. So I just said, wait, there's not enough. Let's build up some stuff. So we'll go all the way back to the beginning. Yes, there was a crocodile attack on a human being at Everglades National Park a few weeks ago. It was the first one that has occurred in 76 years. Did I see it? No. Did I see the end of it, where the guy was getting in the ambulance? Yeah, I did. It was right across from where I work. And so, yeah, I saw that. I didn't get any further report on the fellow, but they did take him with an ambulance, and then they took him with a helicopter, and they took him to the hospital. I've spoken to people at the park about what they're going to do with this crocodile, and they're all just kind of doing, we don't know, because it's never happened before. So that is still, unknown. It has been very busy here. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Monday is very, very busy here. We've seen a lot of people, a lot of people. A little less from Europe, a lot of day trippers, which can certainly make a lot of sense. An annual pass for the park is extremely cheap. And I've also, again, noticed an uptick of people from China, Japan, that type of thing. Not sure what all that means. I do know in 2014, hold me to that, the government gave all of our national parks to the PRC as collateral on the loan. So, if you think about that, that makes a lot of sense. So, eyes and ears open, people, because we just don't know what's going to happen. We will go to our daily Zen poem. Within the waters is the entire world, and there is nothing in its depths but reflections of mountains and rivers. A fish breaks a surface and then disappears again. What need is there to borrow the wind and thunder? Inogen, 1592-1673. So, when you realize that the whole world is basically just a reflection of the whole world, you start to look at it. It also can be a bit of a downer, because if you start to look at it that way, you realize people are all the same. Everything's all the same. It all just is pretty much the same. There's nothing exceptional. There's nothing meaningful there. It's all just the same. So when you see people out in public acting junky, you realize, well, people are junky everywhere. It's not a very warm and fuzzy statement. Didn't say it wasn't true. Said it was not warm and fuzzy. All right, so let's see. Let's go to our daily rune pull. By the way, recording this on a new phone. So if you're getting better results, let me know down in the comments, because I'm wondering if the camera's any better or not, or whatever. Okay, I'm going to flip this upside down so you can see the way I pulled it. All right, that is the rune of opening. All right, let's put that here. It's the rune called Kano. There we go. It's the rune of opening and renewed clarity. Dispelling the darkness has been shrouding some part of your life, and you're free now to receive and to know the joy of non-attached giving. It is the rune for the morning of activities and seriousness, clear intent, and concentration. All is essential for the beginning of work. The more light you have, the more you can see what is trivial and outmoded in your conditioning. In a relationship, you can now be the mutual opening up. You may have served as a trigger, that timekeeper, although your awareness to the light of understanding is once again available to you both. On the one hand, you are limited and dependent. On the other hand, you exist in the perfect center where the harmonious and beneficent forces of the universe merge and radiate. You are the center. If you have been working in the dark, you are now getting enough light to see the patient on the operating table is yourself. That is not a bad thing to say. I kind of like the way that that's phrased out. You know, we all have to look at things, and as things change, you always have to look around and go, do I need to change with it? And, you know, there's always good change and bad change. I mean, heck, I read that book. You know, what has served us yesterday may not serve us today, right? And again, you know, this whole idea of being thoughtful and the timekeeper and the opening of all of this. Well, somebody sent somebody flowers a little less last month, and she has not responded. So if there's anything that is an opening to that and not getting that, that's pretty sad stuff. It means that either A, her mind is too far gone, and so it has no value, or B, you know, other things of less importance are occupying her attention. So that's kind of sad. But let's talk about something good. Come here. We have a quiet moment of BODHI. Whoop. He has been doing very good with his socialization training. I'm getting him to the point where he'll go on alert but not bark if there's somebody walking around outside. If they surprise him, he's going to bark. But we're getting better at that process. All right, so let's see what else is going on. Today I got to go to work. It rained a couple of days ago, which brought the water levels up to the point that yesterday, even though I felt like junk, I picked up a norovirus. This happens when people play in the dirt, right? The same time every year. And I had to leave a houseboat out there because there's no way to get them back in. So we had to take a pontoon boat out. We had to load it up. We had to get everybody out. When I get to work, it might be there. If the water went down enough, it's possible one of the other captains went out and grabbed it. If not, it means I've got to see how the water is going to look like today. There's no way I can tell you what it's going to look like today. It was raining last night. I don't know what it's going to be. I do know that there's one person who might want to go out. There's one person who's going to be a floating cottage I got to flip over for the next day. I know that I've got one that has to come in and one that's actually moored out there and has to come in because they're coming in too. And unfortunately, there's only one of me. So this is going to make today a little more challenging. It also is the question of, is this really worth it? Am I really doing all of this? Maybe I'm busting my butt and I'm being lied to. Or I'm being used. Maybe that's the gatekeeper, the opening of that. Or it's also the reflection that there's nothing in the sea besides the reflection of the mountains. It's all the same. And if it's all the same, then the one thing that needs to be done is do something different. So let's end it the right way. If you don't take care of you, nobody else will. Thank you, Mom. Are they like-minded? Do they share your values? Do they have something to offer? Or no, let them go. Too late for that now. We tried to tell you, but you just couldn't hear us through your screaming and upset. And now we simply stopped talking. And the hardest thing in the world, as I was talking to somebody the other day, the hardest thing in the world is not saying while they try to blame you. Patara, Appalachia's Homestead Patara, when she said they'll try to blame you because somebody said they didn't tell them. But you were trying to tell them, and you might have to say one more time, not I told you so, but one more time, I'm telling you one more time. And the hardest thing I said is when people treat you like that, they treat you like garbage, they treat you, and they cut you off, and they just, you have to walk away from it. The hardest thing in the world, the hardest thing is to say when they come to your door with an apology, to say no and shut the door. Because now they're just using up your resources when they had all the time in the world that they could have stopped, shut their yap, listened and used some critical thinking, and obtained their own. Sorry. No room at the inn. Gotta go. Otherwise than that, ladies, if you have to go out, please take a friend with you, take something with you. Please don't go out alone. Take any form of protection. Whatever that means to you is what that means to you is perfectly fine. There are people out there that simply don't like you, and there are other people out there that aren't supposed to be there and don't like you. So don't go alone. Gentlemen, exact same thing. If you don't have to go anywhere alone, don't. Keep your heads out of your phone, keep your heads on a swivel, and make sure that you have some way to take care of you should somebody want to take care of you, right? Other than that, it's time for me to finish getting dressed, feed BODHI, and figure out what's going to happen with the rest of the day. So, again, I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm on the ginger ale and broth diet, right? And yesterday my stomach was hurting to the point 2 o'clock, I said I can't do this anymore. Today it is feeling much better. So maybe because I ate maybe a third of a cup of rice last night, we're going to work back into it. And maybe we should invest in a good pair of gardening gloves. What do you think? But from me and BODHI, out in the middle of the end of the world, we'll catch up to you as soon as we can catch up to you. Bye.